Congratulations, Finkley, for your win as the South Carolina Black Pages 20 under 40.
I just want to say I love you and I appreciate everything you do.
President Barack Obama's taught us that change does matter.
We chat with Kelli Williams, Pastor Brian McKnight, and Mr. Mayo Phillips.
If you want change to happen, voting is going to get people like myself and Mayo in the office. Voting is...
For the next few moments, you get to hear from the change agents of Mullins, South Carolina. It's a show you don't want to miss. All coming up next on the Michael Finkley Show.
Hello everybody, it's the Michael Finkley Show. I'm Michael Finkley. Today is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. Again, halfway through this week, y'all. I hope that you all are being productive and you're getting things done that you need to get done during this time. Stay positive, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show, and ring that bell for notification. We'll send you an email saying, hey, new content is uploaded. Thank you so much to our future viewers, our subscribers, our future subscribers. Again, you are watching The Michael Finkley Show, where we're here to inform, educate, and inspire you. We're bringing you shows that you need to hear, that you want to hear as well. Thank you so much. Now, y'all, we are a few weeks away from voting. All right, a lot of persons I've seen on social media are voting already. They're mailing in their ballots. They're voting early. Have you done each of that? Each one of those. Have you done that thus far? A lot of persons are waiting on for election day to come and going to stand in those long lines and just going to say, hey, we need change. Change needs to be made. And that's where our guests come in today. Change agents of my hometown of Mullins, South Carolina. Now, this is just a few of those change agents, but we're so glad to have Christian Phillips, Kelli Williams, and Pastor Brian McKnight with us. And I tell you, they have been extraordinary within the town of Mullins and making that true difference that needs to be made. Two of them running for office, which too, you have to stay tuned to watch that information. So more to come, you guys. We'll be right back.
Next, we chat with the change agents of Mullins, South Carolina. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley, Friday, we are looking into the lives of photographers, and we're including Albert Bates, Kendra Johnson, Trell Martin, and Nelson Sanchez. It's a show you don't want to miss. Join us on the next Michael Finkley.
Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you.
Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We are celebrating change agents here on the Michael Finkley Show, and we are going back to my hometown of the Mullins, South Carolina. We have some awesome persons doing some great things in the city of Mullins, and definitely want to highlight what they're doing and talk about what they're doing as well. We have three individuals here with us, and I'm telling you, all of them each have a story to tell. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves to you. So let's start with Kelli. Kelli, just tell us who you are and, what are you doing in Mullins right now?
Yes, Thank you so much, Michael, for the opportunity. I am Kelli Williams, and I am entrepreneur, philanthropist, community organizer, community activist, and I'm also a candidate for Mullins City Council District Number 5. I am excited and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. Pastor McKnight.
Well, you all are so energetic. I am Brian E. McKnight. I am a pastor.
The singer.
Yeah. Not the singer. I can sing, but I don't have his money.
Oh,
That's the only thing I don't have. But I'm a pastor of a church. I am an educator. I have a, and also I am a chaplain at the hospital. So I do a whole lot. And that's just me, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
awesome. Okay. Great. Mayo Phillips.
Yes, how's everybody doing?
Just tell us who you are and what are you doing right now in Mullins?
Yes, so I'm Mayo Christian Phillips Jr. I'm your candidate for City Council District 1. Some of the things that I'm doing here, I currently work for a cybersecurity company as a software tester. I'm also a barber in Mullins at Phillips Fred Barbershop, where I've done barbering there. I've also helped have some youth programs that I've been able to do. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Oh, I love it. I love you. And again, thank you all for being on. Kelli, tell us about growing up in Mullins. How was that for you?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Growing up in Mullins was fantastic to me. Mm-hmm. When we were growing up back in the day, we had a lot of opportunity. We had a lot of things that was happening. I remember, going down Mullins and shopping at BC Moore's. I remember,
wow,
yes. I remember.
We telling our age.
Yes, I remember Friday night football games. I mean, rivalry between Marion and Mullins was deep. I mean, heavy. A lot of people. I actually remember Hardee's and Burger King used to be packed after the Friday night football games. Had a Golden Leaf Festival. We had a street dances. So I mean, and the community was full of kids. The community was full of thriving jobs with AVM and the local plant sets was here, and everybody just was a sense of togetherness. So I mean, growing up in Mullins to me was awesome.
Oh, I love it. Mayo, what are some of your fond memories?
Just being able to grow up, in Mullins. I just remember, being at my grandfather's shop, with some of the elders, telling their jokes, telling me some good wisdom about things that, I hadn't yet experienced in life. So I would just say, that's some of my fond memories being in Mullins, especially being on the band. I was a trumpet player. It was about the music, just being able to get the football team going. And I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
All right. I'm so glad you mentioned your grandfather, Mr. Fred Phillips. He was the first person to ever cut my hair. I think a lot of people can attest to that. A lot of people. What about you, Pastor McKnight?
Yes, I think I have the same thing as all of us. As you may know, my dad worked at the high school for like 30 some years.
Yes.
And so, you talking about going to games. We had to be at the games every Friday. Basketball, he cleaned the whole gym after the game. It's like it's put in me. We didn't have a choice. But I told a person this on tonight. I said, it was a big thing to go from Mullins to Marion or from Mullins to Florence. Like that was a major trip because everything was in Mullins. Like we love Mullins. I remember when the fair was in Mullins.
Yes.
I'm really telling my age now. I remember when the fair was in. I remember after every Marion and Mullins football game fights. We
had nothing else to do.
So and so that's my hometown. And there's still a love for it in me. Mm-hmm. I promise you, there is a love for it in me.
Yeah. And I'm glad you talk about that love. Anybody can answer this question. How are you carrying on this love for Mullins into the next generation that you're seeing, that you're serving?
Oh, go ahead, Pastor.
Sure. I'm sure. I'll be sure. But the main thing I say is, in order to prove real love, you have to learn how to defend your love. I think oftentimes we say we love people, but when they are, I don't know how to say the question, or if something is said about them, we become silent. And so to me, you know, I can love you with my heart, but if my action does not prove it, is it real? So I said that to say this here. If someone say they ain't nothing in Mullins, I immediately stop them and be like, hold up. You know, there's nothing wrong with Mullins. There's something wrong with the people that might be in it. But there's, you know, because I love the area. I was raised there. I was born there. You know, it made me who I am today. So I cannot destroy the foundation and think that I'm going to build a house. It's going to crumble. You know, I can't insult and give insight. So I can't insult Mullins and try to give insight to it. You know, so
I love that. Kelli?
Absolutely. Just to piggyback off him, this is through my actions. I tell people all the time, you know, Mullins is home. Mullins is what gave me my foundation. Yes, I can live anywhere in the world I want to. I can. But Mullins is home. And through my actions and my own groundwork, showing people the compassion that I really care for them and I really care for my city and really want my city to thrive again and change. That's all I can do. And I want to give the next generation hope to say, you know what? Somebody didn't move away. Somebody actually stayed. Somebody stayed and made it work. And if Kelli can do it, if Brian can do it, if Mayo can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's true.
That's it. I love it. Mayo?
That's true.
I definitely agree with Kelli. I definitely agree with all of you. You know, it's just the fact that, you know, we go off to school and we get the education and we go off and, you know, work these jobs. I feel the same way. I feel that, you know, going off and being able to, I've seen things by going off and being able to come back. I know that I can contribute to Mullins. You know, the first question I asked, what can we do to make Mullins a city just like the cities that we like admire the most? We could just bring some of those attributes to Mullins. You know, I work off, but I do live here. And that's where like you said, like Brian said, my heart's desire is here. I love Mullins. I want to be here, and I love it. Just want to be able to fight for what we used to have. You know, we had those great days of the golden leaf. If we could just bring back some of that spark, it doesn't have to be, you know, exactly golden leaf, but it is something that can spark what we had back in those days. You know, going to Mullins, everybody came to Mullins. We know that Mullins was about, you know, all the events and bringing in that industry. You know, if we can bring that back, that's what I think is important for us expansion.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we like you said, Mayo, we can be that city just like any other city that's out there. But again, in our own unique style, because again, when you're talking about Mullins, South Carolina, you know, you are talking about something unique. And it produces persons that you're seeing before us. Pastor McKnight, you are pastor and you've been doing this for many years. You're married to First Lady J, my classmate, and a thriving ministry there.
And choir boy too. I think she's called him that. She's called him choir boy. Mayo. She just call you choir boy.
Oh, me?
Wow.
Yeah, that's what my wife told me. She gave me the secrets, you know.
Okay.
Jay's not telling secrets.
Get her, not me.
I'll sing a selection before we leave if you need me to.
There we go. I love it. A and B. I'm ready. So, Pastor McKnight, no, you're fine. Pastor McKnight, in the world we live in today, where do you see the aspect of spirituality today? So much is happening, right? So where do you see that today in today's world?
I will say this here. Everything evolves around perspective. And I think that in the season that we're in, there's some people who staring at the cup half empty more than half full. And so based upon how we perceive is how we receive. And so with that being said, how I see us, really, I see this season as a season of kingdom alignment, of order being set. I see that that there's conflict that's being held, that's causing change, because until something is challenged, it won't change.
That's correct.
Until you've talked about it and complained about it. Until you stood face to face to challenge it, it won't change. And so as I'm seeing racism on an all-time high, I'm talking about where we've seen people locally in our area, either in Florence County, Mullins, or Marion, get laid off jobs because of racist comments. And so some people are like, oh my God, racism is back. But I began to get excited because now it's been exposed. And so now these people have to shift. And so I said that to say this here, that I believe spiritually, all of us are being realigned, rerouted. Even there's some people who've gotten freed from some things. And, you know, I hate to say this in this sense, but even with church, I've seen people, I've talked to some pastors, they're like, I don't know if some people are going to come back. Some people have gone other places. It's like this season has really released all of us to stop holding our breath and really start to make decisions, conscious decisions that we should have made, that we thought about. So that's why I feel like we all are, you know, everybody may not be a Christian or may not, even though, you know, I'm not going to get into that because
come on, Pastor.
We were not first called Christians anyway, but I'm not here to do apologetics tonight because I don't want nobody to think I'm, you know, I'm a heretic and whatnot. But I believe that we're being aligned to our original assignment in the earth in this season. So I see it as a beautiful season. I mean, so much change is taking place. Us as younger people, they have to use us now because most older people can't come out and do stuff. They're afraid of this virus. And so, honestly, I see it as evolution, in which I know, again, when you talk about spirituality among Christians or, you know, believers, they don't like the word evolution, but it simply means to evolve, like we're evolving. And I think sometimes we don't like the word evolution more so because of the evolving aspect or because of the change aspect.
Yeah.
You know, so if evolution is talked about, oh God, no, we can't say that. We got to put a cross up. But it's change. Change is taking place. And that's where I think that we are. So again, I'll say this here. Sometimes kingdoms have to be torn down before they are built up again.
I gotcha. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I don't want to talk too much. I don't talk too much.
Oh no, you're fine. I love the way you said though too. A lot of things are shifting. A lot of things are shifting. Things that you were afraid to do, had the mind to do. Now you're doing those things. And I tell you, you said decisions. Another word that stuck out was decisions. And we all have to make a decision in November when we vote. And two of those two persons with us today are running for office. So Kelli, tell us about why you're running for office and, you know, your platform.
Yes, well, in 2016, I moved back to Mullins. I lived in Myrtle Beach when I went to Coastal Carolina University, came back home, and I noticed that Mullins was still very, very stagnant. Mullins was just as I left it back in 2009. So I started getting involved. I started going to the city council meetings and just really kind of seeing what is going on. Let me hear from our leaders on what is really happening. And once I started going to the city council meetings, I became very, very frustrated. I became very, very disheartened and upset because our leadership was literally not doing what was needed and what was necessary to take us, like Pastor said, to shift us to the next level of where we needed to be. So I started my nonprofit organization and my business in 2016 as well. So I started doing on groundwork, just from a philanthropist standpoint, really getting out of the community. I started my mentoring program. I adopted a highway, you know, to kind of clean up in my neighborhood and stuff like that, and really just learning Mullins again. Because I mean, as a child, you know, we knew Mullins, but I went away and now I came back as an adult. So I was in a different viewpoint, a different lens that I was looking at Mullins through. And I just, you know, over the years, just seeing really it was just no changes and no effects. And in the beginning of June, I spoke with my family and I was just like, you know what? If the change is not happening through the current leadership, you know, I may need to be the change and create my own seat at the table. And that's exactly what I did. July the 1st, I announced my candidacy. August the 1st, I went ahead and filed, and I'm making my own seat at the table. And my platforms is very simple. You creating more jobs and bringing more opportunities by tapping into my entrepreneurship, my resources. I'm a business strategist. That's what I do. That's what I do every single day. I work with corporations. I work with small business. I work with nonprofits. I teach them how to revamp. I teach them how to bid on contracts. I pull in contracts. That's what I do. So really bringing in new job opportunities to the table. Also revitalizing the current small businesses that's here. It's a lot of entrepreneurs that's clear across the city of Mullins, not just on Main Street, but clear across the whole entire town. Really tapping into them and seeing where we can really revitalize them, where we can get them grant funding. It's a lot of grants that's out there to help revitalize them as well. Get them the necessary needs that they can even start hiring more people to be able to help them with their marketing strategies, so people outside of Mullins and Marion County can know who they are and come and shop with them. Clean communities, and it's cleaning up my district. District number 5 has a lot of abandoned homes. One side of the district is thriving, it was very clean, and the other side of the district is just very, very dirty and abandoned. So I feel like with my my platform, I can be able to help clean up some of these homes that's in the area. I'm so sorry for the background noise, you guys, from the area. And then from the last point, just basically just to be a voice for change. I really want to be that catalyst for change. I've been called militant. I've been called radical. I've been called a troublemaker throughout my whole entire campaign. And why? Is because people are not used to the change that I see that happens. They see that it is somebody out here that's shaking up the atmosphere. Right. And that's what I want to be, a voice for the voiceless. And it's a lot of people that here that really wants to be vocal, that want to be like we are, you know, just taking a step and a leap out on faith and being that forefront, but they just are scared, or they just feel like it's not their time. So I want to be that person to say, hey, these are the issues that my constituents are saying. These are the things that people throughout the whole entire city is wanting. Let's put some action on the ground and make things happen. Simple. That's simple. It's enough talking. It's enough putting down the city. Let's get to work.
Let's get to work.
I'm all in.
I love it. I see. Mayo, what about you? Obviously you're running for, and while running for office, I know that you have some history. Your family actually is in office, some offices now, so you're carrying on that legacy. So why are you running?
Like you said before, it was something that my grandfather always said. He said, if you, like Kelly said, if you want change, you be the change. And like I said, I was inspired by my grandfather and my grandmother, my grandparents. He was an activist in this town, and he stood up, he stood for what he believed in, even despite in those days, where there was a lot going on in those times, the civil rights movement and being part of the NAACP, you had to stand up for what you believed in back then. There was no one way to stand. You had to stand on what you believed in. So, if I've been in the communities of District 1, I've seen and I've heard their concerns. I heard there's some concerns, and I know that there's I heard their desire. Sorry about that. Sorry. I basically want to work with council to ensure that that the needs are met of Mullins are being heard. That's one of the main things. My platform is people with the 3 P's: people, problems, and progress. Is basically, we want to make sure we meet the needs of the people. We want to make sure that, that no matter the race of the neighborhood, that only met, but it's made a priority. And basically the problems. I want to work with council to ensure that the hard-earned tax dollars of our senators are being allocated for the resources that, like drainage solutions, as we talked about, sewage control, better roads, youth programs, and programs to help create jobs. So basically with that, we all have something to contribute, whether, like Kelli herself, the business aspect, if we can all work along with things that we're best at working at, I feel like there's a progress, and that's when progress comes in. If I've met with, some of the citizens again, to ask, what are some of the concerns that you have, and basically asking them what they want, or what they're, of them being heard, and say, hey, we're going to address this to council, address this to council, and see if the other districts as well need to come collectively to work together for this progress. I feel like every meeting that, that is had, there should be, some progress being made, something passed, not a meeting about a meeting when you go to a meeting. That's what I feel about, platform as far as progress. So that's my platform, people, problems, and progress.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Again, when I hear you all speak about such passion, I think I'm older than all of you. But just seeing, we all grew up together in Mullins, and just seeing you all today in this mindset of change, and I really want to see something for our next generation to come. It's just inspiring. But when we come back, we're going to talk about the aspect of voting. Why is it important? We'll be right back.
Coming up, why is it important to vote? Our guests tell us why. We'll be right back. The Finkley Experience is an education and consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. We assist parents and their students with the college process. We train school administrators, and we also partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first-generation population. To learn more about our consulting firm and to purchase our book and workbook, please visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We are still chatting with Kelli, Brian, and Mayo, change agents of Mullins, South Carolina. So anybody can answer this question. Why is it important to vote? Why is it important?
Number one, your ancestors literally got
I was about to say that.
bit by dogs, died for your right, and not even your ancestors. So as a woman perspective, we couldn't vote as a woman, whether you was white, black, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever. But it's your right. But secondly, voting truly matters. If you want change to happen, voting is going to get people like myself and Mayo in the office. Voting is going to help get some of the infrastructure problems and issues handled. Voting is going to help us with our taxes increase, whether it goes up or go down. Yep. Voting is going to help with our, if Black Lives Matter, y'all, you up in the uproar about the police. But guess what? When you vote, you're voting for the sheriff. You're voting for your local solicitors. You're voting for your probate judges, your magistrate judges. Voting affects us in every single level, from national to state to local, to your things that you don't even really think about. How funding is really allocated throughout the city, throughout the state, throughout the nation. So when people tell me that voting doesn't matter and they vote does not count, I hit them where it hurts. I always use this analogy. You like your food stamps? Oh, okay, you better go out and vote.
Vote. Sure. Go vote. Go vote.
Oh. So I think it's more essential than ever now to to vote, just because we need change, and it's basically because some of the decisions that are being made around us, as Kelli said, the only way to bring about the change is if we vote. If you want those bills to pass into law, vote. If you want those things to be done right in your community, vote. If you want to ensure the leaders are being held accountable, vote. Voting allows us for the change, the opportunity for us to change. That's what I believe. And not voting is also part of the problem as well. As far as voter suppression, learning about whether or not, I've been to some residents' house. Maybe you are a felon, but you must know that you can't, that you can vote. Under the certain circumstances, you can vote. Under those situations. So that's why I believe we should vote.
Yes, definitely. Because voting changes. Voting changes so many different things. And that's what you all are trying to do in the city of Mullins. Pastor McKnight, please, President Barack Obama, he taught us with the true meaning of change back in 2008. What are some encouraging words for our youth of Mullins and around the world, whoever's viewing this, of their voting rights?
Sure. I will say this here. On Sunday, our church is doing something called Vote Sunday. Vote Sunday, VOTE Sunday. And in doing that, because I've always, ever since I started pastoring, I've always been different. I'm a spiritual man, but I know also that if we cannot cater to the natural needs of man, it's hard for them to tap into the spiritual aspect of man. Jesus fed the 5,000 plus women and children. You know, he always met the natural needs. Then he gave them the spiritual aspect. And so I've said, okay, we're going to have a Sunday called Vote Sunday, just Vote Sunday. You know, this is what we're going to cater. Everything I'm going to preach that Sunday is going to be about in some aspect of voting. So I said that to say this here is that when we look at the church in some aspect, it's like we are fearful to talk about politics. And listen, I dealt with this all week. Like I was like, oh Lord, if I put this out, what people gonna think? Because you hear no one talking about politics in the church. It's kind of like, don't say that. That's a cuss word in the church. But the thing that when we look throughout history, most of our leading politicians or change agents, they were ministers. Martin Luther King, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, like they used their platform of influence not to just inspire people on Sundays about God is, and that's something else. And please don't crucify me. But we make God responsible for things that he's given us authority over. That's one of the problems I have with us as church folk, in a sense, is that we and as leaders, we can't keep keeping this slavery mentality of this person who's in the sky is going to make everything happen. When it's your responsibility to vote, it's your responsibility to go in the community, it's your responsibility to make change happen. And so I said all of that to say this here, dealing with our young people, and I posted this last week. Every time I vote, I take my children. I take them. Every time I vote, I don't care what it is. They go with me and they see me vote, and I explain to them why I'm voting. It's our responsibility to give them the knowledge that they need. And I think that our parents, in some sense, I can speak for mine, they were sincere, but they were bought. They were brought by chicken sandwich. They were brought by, kiss the baby. But they were sincere in their heart, but they dealt with people who were not. I remember as a child, and, my dad always told me, son, vote Democratic because they are for the Black people. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what he told me. Now, let's say if that's the case, but at the end of the day, you vote in color and not principles or not standards, not what they stand for. It's like I'm voting because I'm familiar. So anything that looks familiar, and I won't call any names, but there's some people here in Marion County who's been in position for years because people are familiar with them, because when their lights almost got cut off, they called blank and they kept their lights on. When their son needed a job, well, I made some screens and I got him a job. But you got to understand this, that's helping individuals. But what if we can get somebody not in the screen, but at the fountainhead? That's the thing. We got to get out of the stream of things and get at the fountainhead where things are being controlled. And that's everything that comes out from that fountainhead is determined by the everything that comes in the stream is determined by the fountainhead. In other words, the reason why the flow is so short and all we see in this area are drips, it's because there's somebody at the faucet that's keeping it turned down where we get it enough, but not what we need.
Now that's a
so
word.
That's why I get at the fountain here.
That's the word, Pastor. That's the word. See, I need an hour with you. I need a whole hour with you. Oh my word.
We got to get at the fountain.
We got to. Mayo, do you think Mullins is ready for a change?
I think Mullins is ready for the change. But I can only speak for myself when I say that, Mullins is ready for the change. I've listened to the people, I've listened to the residents of the town. I think that, for the younger generation, I think that we are ready. I also believe that we should listen to the elders because they have the wisdom. They have the wisdom to help navigate us from some of those pitfalls that, as what we call is history repeating itself. I think we are ready. I think if once again vote, put the right people in place. I think that's the most important thing, and vote the right people. I think that's important. That's the start. Starting locally. That's really important.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts, Kelli?
Yes, absolutely. I think, like Mayo said, the younger generation, they're fired up. They're ready to go. They're ready for change because they're just tired of the same old, and they know that we are the next generation to lead. When it comes to the older generation, it's just really changing that mindset and getting to understand, trust us, trust the next generation. Take a seat back, relax. We need the wisdom. We need, the guidance from you guys, but we got it. Let us take the torch and continue your legacy at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, Mullins, I always use this term. Mullins is on life support. Yes, it's on life support. But Mullins is not dead yet. And if we, the change agents, can really have the opportunity, we just give it an opportunity just to implement some of the great ideas that myself and Mayo have for this great community, I really feel that it's going to open up a door to even more change agents that's going to be activated and on fire to really mobilize to the whole entire city. And trust me, we may not be no Myrtle Beach level, but we're going to be thriving in some type of capacity.
Exactly. I love this. And again, I'm proud of each and every one of you. Kelli, how can they find you on social media?
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook at Kelli R. Williams for Mullins City Council, District number 5. You also can follow my website, www.krw4council.com, and where you can really read in detail of my platform and just really learn some more information about me. But on my Facebook, I am always engaging. I'm always on Facebook Live. So thank you guys. Follow me on Facebook.
I love it. Mayo, how can they find you on social media? You're on mute.
Yes. Yeah, so you can find me on the M. Christian Phillips Facebook and the Mayo Christian Phillips Jr. for City Council, and also have a LinkedIn as Mayo Christian Phillips for LinkedIn. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mayo. Pastor McKnight, how can we find you on social media?
Brian E. McKnight, Facebook, Google, I guess. They're putting all your information out there anyway. They don't even ask you, but it's me, Brian E. McKnight.
All right. And your church?
Yes, sir. It is the Transformation Community Church, located for now in Latta, but our church will be moving on 501 in Marion County. And I am excited because I want to be, sometimes if you're not in a certain city, you can have a certain pull and you can kind of get stopped on doing some things, but that's where we are.
I love it. And
big vision, man.
Yes, definitely. We dreamed one, but God has a bigger one for us.
Yeah.
I appreciate each and every one of you. Your information is in the description below. Thank you so much. The change agents, just a few of them. There are many more. The change agents of Mullins, South Carolina. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Hi there, it's Finkley. Do you want to become the next guest on the Michael Finkley Show? Do you have an incredible story to inform, educate, and inspire others? Well, you can. Email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com and follow us on our social media platforms. See you soon. On the next Michael Finkley Monday, we chat with Terrence Seegers of Seegers Promotional Products, a Black-owned promotional products company. Don't you dare miss the next Michael Finkley.
Everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. What did you learn from today's show? Please share the information with us in the comments below. Thank you so much for our guests today, Ms. Kelli Williams, Pastor Brian McKnight, and Mayo Phillips. Thank you so much for sharing your insight, your knowledge, your wisdom of the right to vote. What does that look like for everybody? It looks different. Struggles are different. So thank you so much for giving your input and wish you much success in the future in your future endeavors. Thank you so much. On the next Michael Finkley, we are going to be celebrating the lives and the awesome profession of photographers. And we have Kedrick Johnson. We also have Albert Bates, Trell Martin, and Nelson Sanchez with us. And they're going to talk about their experience in this cool profession that is sweeping the nation today. That's on the next Michael Finkley. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring that bell for notification, and we'll send you an email saying, hey, new content is uploaded. If you'd love to be a guest on The Michael Finkley Show, please email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. Thank you so much for watching, and guess what? We'll see you Friday. Have a good one.